Good morning, traders, friends, and family from around the entire world. Welcome to your Tuesday, May the 12th, real life day trading room presented by Robert Falco. So what's happening today, Dr. Falconium? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
Perfect. Good morning, my friend.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you sound like a mixture between Fergie and Jesus. So I'll
Wow, what a mix.
Yeah, man, I'll let you go ahead and share your screen and go ahead and just crush life.
All right, let's see. There we go. Always have to click to pull chat back up. Get this on another screen. And there we go. So yeah, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Was a nice start to the week yesterday, so that's great. Anyway, to boost my volume versus Jeremy's, do I need to be louder?
You sound good on my end. Someone else, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, you sound crystal clear over here.
Okay. I have a little bit of room left on my gain on my mic. I can turn up if I need to. So good morning. Welcome everyone. Looks like we got quite a few people piling in, 64 now. So that's fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overall markets. So we'll pop over to the E-minis from yesterday and last night. So yesterday we opened, we faded, and put in this nice double top. Textbook perfect at the end of the day. I think it even had a little bit of a higher trap right here, and then rolled over a little bit into the close. The E-minis opened yesterday afternoon, tried to pop up, traded all the way down, and then again overnight. It seems like right around midnight. I mean, you really have to be a night owl to catch these
Yo, man, I'm only seeing these trade ideas, and I don't know why.
into these.
There you go. It just pops over to Thinkorswim.
You can't see TOS?
That's weird. I wonder why it loaded so slowly like that. Huh.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got it. But yeah, that was a nice double top, wasn't it? From the E-minis last night.
Not sure. Yeah, right in here. Yeah, just perfect double top. This retested it. Right. Let's see. Let's practice with these annotations here. Drawing. I like this little arrow you always do. So right there, you had this nice retest of this neckline. Traded down, and then big surprise, bounced off of the same zone that we did before, came in, double bottom, and now we're trading back up into this same area. So we'll see what she does on the open, but everything points to bullish. Again, here's SPY on the daily, and nice, cute, wicked pair of candles, especially like IWM I have over on this chart, just because these daily candles look just gorgeous. The Fed is also stepping in and buying a bunch of corporate bond funds today, ETFs. They didn't say which ones, but that will probably be a pretty good boost to the market out there. So looks like it's going to be a retest gap. It is a Tuesday. Tuesdays are not personally my best days of the week, especially when I win on Monday. So I don't want to be too overconfident, take something out the gate, and then give back some of the profits. So I'm going to be a little patient on the open unless I see something absolutely perfect. So the gaps that I am watching right now, Disney. Tesla's definitely on there, but Disney. This lower wick from yesterday looks really nice, and this candle looks good. So it looks like a potential trap. And if we're gapping up in here, nice little morning star reversal possibly forming up. So this isn't official or anything. I'm just drawing, hey, where would I like to enter? And it looks like we have this nice resistance level here if we break out and retest something like that. And then we know that Tesla Elon reopened the factory. He's all over the news. His battle with California out there, all on Twitter, saying, "Come at me, come arrest me, I'm ready." And we're gapping above those tweezers, which, man, I mean, this has to be on the list, right? Like, just especially with this little S curve, if we open up, throwing a lower wick below this pre market area, this is a possible entry with a potential stop, down here, basically trading this, bracketing this high wave candle, a little bit more of a retest through this 824 potentially. And then I got Roku, just because Roku has been such an absolute beast. Lots of volume. This is an inside day yesterday, and then from Friday, which was earnings. So if we take this out, I don't see any reason why Roku won't just continue to go higher. So yeah. So we'll be watching that. I do have this candle pre-market, looks really good on TradingView, but it is not on Thinkorswim. So that's a little odd. But sometimes pre-market data can vary a little bit. But we'll definitely be watching Roku. Twitter, I think, is also a nice gap. Just because yesterday's candle, just this cute little doji, and it looks like we might clear the high. Oh, not anymore, but we'll see how it opens. Again, sometimes pre-market, super light volume. So that's on there. AMAT also had a nice, cute little doji yesterday, and it is a bearish candle, so we might be taking that out. Square also just great bullish trend. Small little inside resting day potential for this. It looks like it's already starting to move through this resistance point with a high from yesterday. So it opens up, retests. We might be able to grab that. So those are the gaps that I have. Let me just throw some in here that I know you guys have been asking about: NVAX, SDC, VTIQ. I know some of these we looked at yesterday. So we'll start with NVAX. I mean, this is the one that allegedly developing a vaccine. They got some big investment, I think, on earnings. Probably has an extremely high short float and is just going absolutely bananas. But in my opinion, I think we missed NVAX personally. And this is not generally the one that the type of stocks that I love to trade. If you do want to trade this, again, I would buy a retest, wait for some type of big push to come in, buy a retest, and then try to take it higher. But definitely honor your stops and be careful of the spread, and be familiar with 12T halts just in case that that does get halted. Here, I'll throw this over there. Saw that one in the chat. Shop Baba. I'm just doing this so that I remember them. I'll probably take them off if it doesn't look like we might trade them. We'll see. SDC yesterday did end up closing above the 100 SMA. So that looks really nice. This is one, if you can't go to the dentist or orthodontist, I guess it's a do it yourself at home. I don't know how I feel about that, but evidently people like it. So it looks like another strong bullish move. I think this one, sure if it has their short float. Yeah, their short float is 49%. So this is definitely going to be one that the shorts are getting squeezed on. It is a large retest gap, so I would not buy a breakout. I would look for some type of retest to play, even if it is quick, because it does have a really high short float, and it could keep going. VTIQ, this is allegedly another Tesla killer, so probably not. Just like Neo was allegedly a Tesla killer. Not that there's not money that can be made trading it, but this thing is up. What's this? 55% in 3 days. So, and even more than that because it's up again pre-market. So again, some of these ones that are just, I hate the word use the word extended, but they've ran so far so fast. They're not in my plan to trade. There are definitely people that can trade these and trade them profitably. It is another retest gap. So if you're going to do something, try and buy, like, let's say over here this day, you know, maybe not the breakout, but a retest somewhere in this. Or yesterday, rather than trying to buy the breakout here, grabbing this retest, or at least waiting for the retest to come in and then finding an entry point like above this upper wick and then riding it, or like this hammer even. This is a nice bear trap, and then you could have taken it right here and traded up with a stop right there. That would have resulted in good risk reward. Logitech had earnings. It went red to green, which is usually a really good sign that it's going to continue. This is at, I think it's an all time high. Yeah, yeah, all time high on Logitech. With everyone working from home, you cannot find um, a webcam like a Logitech webcam anywhere. I mean, they're just sold out everywhere with people working from home. Huge bullish volume yesterday. I mean, look at the size of this volume candle. Still on the arrow. Oops. I mean, that is just massive. So big bullish volume. We're continuing higher. It is into an all-time high. So this is one that it could continue, but I think there's going to be some people that want to sell there. I don't think that this has a large short float. Yeah, only 0.4%. So you're not going to get like a short squeeze on that one. But the volume is just huge. But if I wanted to play this bullish, it would have to be on some type of retest. I think it probably fires out of the gate, and then I'd want some type of pullback. Look for a hammer candle, some type of reversal signal, and look to take it higher. Shopify, when isn't it going up? Um, yeah, it's Shopify is just gonna continue higher. I don't know what else to say on this one. This one is tough to day trade just from a standpoint of the volume can be a little weird, and then the spread is massive, especially near the open. The spread on this can be a couple bucks, and so you really have to be good with your stop limits. If you're taking a breakout, I would highly recommend not using a stop market order on Shopify because you can just get wrecked on slippage. Or just use limits and then wait for retests because it is a spready monster out there. And then Baba, yeah, those were some lines from yesterday. Looks like another little gap up. It is a retest gap. I think we probably fade. There was some news coming out of Washington that Trump signed some type of executive order that all federal pension funds they have to pull out of all the Chinese equity investments. So it's like $5 billion, I think, or 4.5 billion. I don't know that it's necessarily going to sell today, that they have to sell it today, but that is coming down the pipe, and I think that could cause some profit taking for those in Baba short term. So yeah, because it's not pocket change. Baba is one of the biggest ones, so I would assume that a lot of that 4.5 billion could potentially come out of Baba. Let's see, request for Beyond Meat. Nice bullish day yesterday. Got a nice upper wick. So we did fade towards the end of the day, and we're already trapping anyone who tried to sell in here. Yeah, this looks like it's going to continue higher as well. It's not clearing any pivots. It is a little bit of an inside day. Those just aren't my favorite to day trade, but it definitely looks like it could continue. Beyond is known for some short squeeze action. Oops, IND. Only 16%. So it's got decent short flow, but it's not like it used to be. It used to be just absolutely wild. Upwork, trying to come out of this long-term downtrend here. This is one similar to Fiverr. you got some type of just trend line like this, we are breaking out of it. Personally, I'd like to see us retest and then uh, move higher, but we're not doing that right now. So I would still probably buy this on some type of retest, maybe into this 1120, 1140 area, something like that. We'll just have to see how it opens because this is also one that does not have the best volume. Like if you go to a 1 minute chart, there's lots of gaps in this on the 1 minute, especially in here on the open sometimes. The volume is just not the best. So I would wait to see how the volume looks. Let's see. Because they can be hard to get filled. And then yeah, see, like as a group, we couldn't really trade this with 70 people in here. This is trading like 1,200, 2,000 shares on the 1 minute. Sometimes we could potentially move this stock like all by ourselves. So I don't know that we want to do that, but definitely possible. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix again, strong bullish trend. Yeah, this phenomenal breakout to a new high. We just retested. Let's see how far this retest came. Look at that, right to the 618, and we're bouncing. Inside price action of yesterday. So if you're going to play these that are inside days that aren't clearing pivots, just play them like some type of continuation. So wait for them to open, consolidate. Like if they can pull back below the moving averages, regain the moving averages, or VWAP, throw in an upper wick or a doji, as Brad likes to say, wiggle wiggle, and then take the breakout. I think those could be really nice if they do have that continuation pattern. But that's how I like to play continuations. I think that's how Brad and Jeremy like to play continuations as well. Is wait for a little bit of a pullback, some consolidation, and then take it higher. Or if it just starts to move bullish, by the dip, by the S curve on Netflix. But again, personally, I like to see the stock clearing a pivot, at least somebody getting trapped, kind of like on a Tesla. It's in a bullish continuation retest gap, but at least we know that the people that sold here are trapped as of right now. People that sold here are trapped. People that sold into here, any of these folks, buy this gap. So at least there's someone trapped, even if it's not like we're trapping, this a huge candle full of people or something like that. And yeah, like with something like Tesla, if we do play it, we're gonna look to get in and out. I don't think I would let that run all day long or for like long periods of time like we did yesterday. BMY. I'm not sure where this line is from. Oh, okay. Yeah, having some lines on there for a while is nice. Breakout, and back up through the trend line retest. Looks like we're bouncing. Bristol Myers. I don't play this one too often. As you can tell, I hadn't had a line on this chart for a while. It is a retest gap, so I'd wait for a retest and take it look to take it bullish. They have already had earnings, but yeah, it looks bullish to me. I don't think I'd buy a breakout on it. Agreed. Tesla great for a quarter mile, but it's too heavy after that. Oh, funny. So yeah, those are the ones that I have on the list. Did we cover Roku? Yeah, I looked at Roku. Been extremely bullish. What happened to this? It was an inside day yesterday, and it looks like it's going to gap up. I'm starting to retest a little bit here pre-market, but yeah, it looks good. So it also just a lot of these they depend on how they open too. Like I won't 100% base my trade off of pre-market. I want to see what type of price action it puts in on the open, unless there's just massive volume in the pre-market. Which there's some on Roku. There's just not tons and tons, like let's say on earnings or something like that. So 2,800 shares, 3,600 shares, like all these little amounts of shares. If we put in an opening candle that's like 150,000 shares, it almost like makes this price action insignificant because there's just so much volume like on the opening candles. On a lot of these Square I looked at, looks bullish. It is on the list for a potential bullish bullish trade. I'd much rather grab a retest than a breakout on this one. So it looks like we might be able to accomplish that based on how the pre-market is trading. So we'll see if it holds above this like 75.90 area and then grab some potential retest. DT's at Dyna Trace. $31. Yeah, you definitely have some trapped traders here from yesterday with increased volume. The only thing on this one is there might not be that much room, like maybe down to, again, the 10 in this gap fill right here, like this retest gap, and then I can see us bouncing. So just depending on, yeah, see, it kind of already hit this $30 area. Well, not kind of, it did hit $3 in pre-market. So it could get like a flash down into here. And then I think that could be it. And to be honest, I haven't been, as much as I love to trade bearish. Don't get me wrong. I like to trade bearish. I've only had one bearish trade this entire month so far, and it's been a loser. The market has just been so bullish. I think the Qs is hitting like records from like last year. I think like from somewhere in here as far as bullishness, like number of days, bullish or weeks. So it's hard to trade anything bearish right now. It's much easier to trade with the trend. So I'll go bearish if I see something really perfect, but otherwise I'm going to try to stick with the trend and trade bullish, especially in front of everyone. Yeah, if I'm by myself and nobody sees me, might try to take something real quick bearish, but AbbVie at strong morning star reversal. It looks like we're gapping. We're gapping up. Again, this would be something on a retrace. I wouldn't take a breakout. So retest gap, see how things open, let the market retest a little bit, and then look to go bullish. I think on almost everything that we've looked at, except maybe some of these ones that might be a little too far too fast. We don't want to try and get in something bullish like what was the one that faded yesterday? AMC. Yeah, so this one was just, if this thing starts to fail, and then you put in some of these, like these first 10, 15 minutes opening, I mean, this is just, it's not going to be a bullish day for this thing when it starts to put in these types of opens and then doesn't immediately like take this volume out of selling. It's just going to continue lower. So some of the ones that are a little more extended, like an NVAX or something like that, if you see it start to immediately fail or with huge volume, you have to not be as bullish on something like that. So we got about 6 minutes. Let's take a look, run back through our list. So SPY, here's a little bit of a retest. So that's nice that we're not just screaming higher, because you don't want to be buying other folks' profits that got in somewhere down here in this type of double bottom like we looked at on the futures. So that we had a little bit of a retest. That's good. IWM, again, very similar. I don't know that we'll trade one of the indices. I think this would be more of a swing trade. But these candles are too cool just not to look at. Disney looks good. Looks like we might be getting a little, that was weird. Looks like we might be getting a little bit of an S curve there. Tesla, that looks good for a potential retest of this tweezer top. Hopefully it doesn't do it before open. Roku looks like it might be S curving. Twitter actually looks pretty strong. I'll have to trade that on a different account. AMAT looks pretty strong. Square, we'll see if we can hold above this area on SQ. And then we already looked at these. SDC, a little bit of a pullback pre-market, so that's nice. ETIQ, I personally I'm not going to be trading this one. Logitech, and I think you need to wait for a pullback. Shop, same thing. And Baba, I think it's on my like do not trade list. So I'll look at Twilio and Nvidia, and then we'll gather ourselves for the open. And Twilio has just been so strong. I think this needs some type of rest day. So does it look like we're going to put in some type of, yeah, we're not clearing a pivot like we have the last few days unless we just put in some massive bullish candle on the open. But I think Twilio probably needs a little bit of a rest day. So if you do trade it, you might not have the follow through that you like or that you would like to see. Nvidia, super strong. Looks bullish. I'm not going to be buying a breakout on this. So if you wanted to play it, I would definitely play a retest. And then Apple, very similar. I don't think I could. I love Apple. It's one of my larger holdings. It's just, man, oof, so many green days in a row. Overall, be bullish, but I don't necessarily see a day trade on this one, just because it's already moved so far. I think as it continues to go higher, it's just going to run out of a little bit of steam. But man, so strong, so strong. Guys, keep throwing those tickers out, huh? TSM, this thing gaps almost every day. I've tried to trade this one quite a bit. The bots have tried to trade this one kind of a lot, and I've never really had too much success with it because it gaps pretty much every single day, and we're not gapping very much today. It is an ADR, so I've never really had that much success with trading TSM just because it gaps so much. Tesla, yeah, we are expecting it to be bullish. So just for the open, again, I'm going to go to TOS because it's a little bit easier for me to look at all the stocks. And we got about 45 seconds. Oh, man, look at this. We're going to open practically right at yesterday's highs. So who do you think is going to go bullish? I have to drag it. There we go. Who do you think is going to go bullish on a breakout of that pre-market high?
The noobs.
The noobs. Yep. Not us. Not us. At least let it open and give us a little bit of a direction. Because again, those pre-market traders, they're already up a couple percent from this move overnight, and the futures folks. So here's an immediate retest on Tesla. And I hope that that's not the immediate retest right there. It probably is, though, the way it's bouncing already. But I told myself I was going to be patient. So if we miss it, we can always buy a retest of this massive bullish candle. Oh my gosh. Look at this. uh, we'd be exiting some right now for sure into this new high. And then probably like 840, we would just be out. Yeah. Wow. But we're going to let a few minutes go by here so that we don't get in any crazy traps. I think Jeremy probably took this on Tesla. I bet he's in.
Bro, you know it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Please your top, man. I mean, I had to throw it's a half an hour of size, but I
Okay.
had to. Had to.
Yeah. So
Had to.
yeah, those ones that you just throw them out there, they either work great or sometimes they just punch you right in the face like immediately. So the half an hour strategy, not a bad idea to do that, because if it just comes for you immediately, it's only a half an hour. So let's see how these candles are going to close. See if we get a close above this 240, 294. Disney might end up closing as a high wave. You probably just exited everything on Disney, right? Or on Tesla, I'm guessing.
Yep, on the new high.
Yeah.
But if it closes like that though, I mean, I still might consider just
Then
popping
set
back in
something
maybe.
else
I
up.
don't know.
Yeah. Set something else up on it. Yeah, those ones that went a little far pulling back. Why did Tesla not do that for us yesterday? Yeah. And that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, well, the difference really is the gap, right? So Tesla did
Yeah.
not gap above the high or the low yesterday. It was just like a normal gap, and today you gapped above a perfect high of 824, or sorry, the exact same high. So you just had more people trapped today
Yeah.
on Tesla.
Yeah. That immediately had their stops being triggered. So yeah, this is why we don't go bullish right out the gate on a breakout.
It's a trap.
That's the Admiral coming in right there on that upper wick. And Disney, oh my gosh. $109. I'm just not showing my price. 109.47 by 108.47. Yeah, let's go ahead and that's just such a perfect. So if it re-breaks this, then we'd be taking it bullish here. Let me just double check the ones. So we do have a lot of volume there. 3 minute. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make that official. 109.47 by 108.47. Oops, where's my trigger? $1 trigger with bracket. So I'm going to do a stop at 109.46 and a limit of 109.47. So give it a penny of slippage. And if this breaks down, it's going to be a cancel again. That's what Disney did to us yesterday. This would not hold that initial level if it takes out this this bullish volume with in the hammer candle. Roku throwing in some upper wicks. So if you got this on a retest, exiting into this new high. If you're in a breakout, getting filled on those upper wicks is never that fun. So I would just be a little bit cautious. Let me go cues on another screen. Yeah, the cues threw in that massive upper wick. I mean, it's just a huge trap. So Disney literally would have broke the stop by like 1 penny. So let's go ahead and cancel Disney and we'll look for a new setup. And we will look for if this forms some type of hammer candle trap, we'll look for an entry. It'll probably be somewhere in here. But I'm going to wait for that candle to close. It has a couple minutes. Because I would like to get in lower. The reason I'm saying that I want to get in lower is since it came all the way down and broke this stop. If I get in up here on the new breakout, that's like an R move for some people who just bought off of, let's say, like this pre-market support. So if they bought here, when are they going to sell? They're going to sell into us on this high of day break. So we don't want to be going along there specifically. So we'll look for a new setup here. So this has got 26 seconds. So 109.12 by 108.12. So Diz 109.12 by 108.12. So we'll make that official. We go. New DIS day trade. So better entry. So I got you guys updated first. 109.12. Because this way we're getting in a little bit lower so that we're not the last ones getting filled bullish. Notice how we're holding back above VWAP. We threw in this little low day trap for some bears. We're skipped. Allegedly, we never know with Thinkorswim for a couple minutes. Okay, so we did get filled. It let us know like 30 seconds later. And for a target, man, I kind of just like 1R because that'll be into this upper wick and a little bit of this upper wick. Also, the stop's a little bit wide, so if we get a nice close, we can go ahead and move the stop up um, to make sure that we have not not a full R at risk. Actually, here let's go ahead and do 110.97 for a final target, and we'll look to take like 109.98. We'll take a partial. That's not good. That immediate did not close above VWAP. Well, this one did, but then it immediately went back below. So we want to see this hold and form like a little inverted head and shoulders. Tesla throwing in some inside candles. Roku, look at the low day trap on Roku. That looks really nice. Man, we just got wicked in on Disney. So I want to see this immediately recover VWAP. Otherwise, I'm going to play a little bit of defense, and I'm going to look to take a third off, whether it's for a small loss or a small gain here. If this candle doesn't close back above VWAP, 1/3's coming off immediately, and then I'll reset up my stop. So this is a little bit more aggressive, whether aggressive on defense or aggressive on profit taking. We will see. Just because we immediately got wicked in and then it punched through all of this bullishness. So it's a little bit different than how we traded it yesterday. But this way we can play a little bit of defense. Yeah, that's not looking particularly great. So market exit 1/3 on Disney. So this for me, it's about 150 shares. We're going to go ahead and sell that at market. Yes, we are booking a loss on that, and then we're gonna re-go set up our stop. Was 108.12, just because it was an immediate wick in. So those of you that traded with Blake, I know he trades like that somewhat often. What was it? 110.12. So just to show you a little bit different of a style. I absolutely hate getting wicked in on on something like this. So immediate wick in, closing back below VWAP. Like I mentioned yesterday, if there is something that I would use, if there was only one indicator, it would be VWAP. So this way, even with our stop all the way down at an R, we're not going to lose a full R because of our taking a third off right in here. And we can always add that third back on a break, if we do somehow come and break back above. But an immediate trap like that, probably not going to work. And the entry was a little bit more aggressive because we took the entry back above this candle and this candle, versus waiting for a break of the opening range. So that's why. And SPY does look a little bit weak. Q's is holding below VWAP. I know it's a little bit faster. So if you weren't able to get that 1/3 off and then reset, apologize, but wanted to show you a little bit different of a style and something that I do often when something wicks me in, because this is probably going to come down and hit our stop. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Big oof on the market there. So we thought we might get a little bit of a bounce. It looks like everything is fading. Nope, too late. Didn't Harry Potter did not help us on that one. So that is unfortunate. Let's go throw that in the log. Let's see, 512 DIS 109.12, 108.12, 500 shares. This was a gap and go, right? Yeah, this was a gap and go on a nice Morningstar reversal. So that was a gap and go. Where did my partial get filled? 108.76. 150, 108. I get slippage on the exit. 108.12. Nope. So that's nice. 108.12. 350. So 0.81. So the good news is we lost less than we made yesterday, barely. But we did lose less than we made yesterday, so that's nice. I thought you didn't get slippage ever. Yeah, never, man. I'm actually surprised that I didn't get slippage on that big punch through, but yeah, if you lost the full R, sorry. I know that's a little bit quick and probably something that most people don't do. But with an immediate trap like that, and when this candle, or here, let me just go to full screen. So this was an immediate trap right here. We avoided this trap, which was good. There was a little bit of a bear trap right there. So we're playing off this bear trap, Morningstar reversal. So we get filled here. As soon as this triggers us in and then does not hold this level at all, like as soon as this candle comes in, you pretty much know this trade's going to be a loser. If it's not going to be a loser, like a higher percentage of the time, this trade's going to be a loser on this candle. This candle, you're like, oh, maybe there's hope. We might get a little bit of close above VWAP. Immediately takes this out. This trade is pretty much done right here. So that's why I went ahead and took the third off. Um, Kind of gave you guys a little bit of a heads up. Hey, this is what I'm looking to do, and then type it in beforehand. But that and if we're gonna lose close to a full R or a full R, I mean, happening in what, 8 minutes? It usually happens within like 12 minutes. So just trying to lose less because those immediate traps are just, yeah, the worst. The worst. So we're definitely going to have to be patient to if we're going to take something else to make sure that's a really good setup since we're already down out the gate. Yeah, just such a good trap on the spot. We might fade all day, actually. Yeah. We might fade all day long. Just the way that this upper wick came in, and then the market tried to throw in a little bit of a lower wick here, and immediately took it out. Lots of bearish volume. Yeah, we're gonna probably fade unless we just get ripped super fast and we start to, like in an hour and a half or so, when we might start to see a reversal, or 2 hours, if we're all the way down into this 290 area, then maybe fade up. But yeah, that's not a great sign. Like, you would want it to trap the over anxious bulls, trade down, and then throw in some type of bounce, like for an S curve, because this is no longer an S curve now on like a 5 minute. On a 15 minute, we're getting to the point where it's probably not an S curve. Let's look for a short. Mm, Aggressive fading to the bearish side, like out the gate, is not my strength in particular. And that is some strong. Did we get some type of news or something? Let me take a look real quick. Oh, Fed boys talking. The Fed. Did Trump tweet? He said no deal. No deal with who? China? Oh, ouch. Netflix. I don't really see anything on Netflix. For a day trade, personally, just the way that I trade, it's not clearing any pivots. It's an inside candle. Strong bullish trend, but I don't see too much on it. And then I know someone asked, "Are we buying Tesla here?" This was not like, I would have liked to see Tesla try to push higher, come lower, then throw in like some type of hammer like this without of already filling it. I think that retest gap play was that immediate one that Jeremy had. It was literally a 1 minute trade. You just throw an order here, and then when this happens, so you get filled here, and then you're literally just exiting in. You're exiting like literally right there in the second minute. You're just in and out and done. At this point, I think you need to probably wait until it comes down here, unless it throws in some miraculous hammer candle. But the cues, this is what I like to call. Actually, it's better to see it on Thicker Swim. This is what I call the VWAP or slapper. So immediate trap, we trade down below, we come up and literally just VWAP just slaps this thing down. Volume weighted average price just comes in and punches this thing right in the face and pushes it down. When would be an entry? Well, if you're just throwing an order out to buy the dip on Tesla, I think it would be down here around like this 815 area, unless there's some type of reversal pattern or hammer. Like if it just puts in some huge hammer of Thor with really strong volume, I could see someone buying it there. Otherwise, I would have to wait for this into this next support or pivot area. Wow. Look at IWM. Holy smokes. Yeah, Disney got us with the triple trap. So I like these arrows. So there's trap one, there's trap two, and there's trap three. And then there's the break. Roku did pretty similar. If you were in bullish on Roku, and if you weren't out in the first couple minutes, you're probably stopped out. Twitter, did it make a little bit of a higher high? No. Yeah, if Tesla was like gapping up massively or something, then I could look at a short. But on this type of gap, I don't think I could really look at a short. Um, little bit of a trap on SQ. So yeah, I mean, we didn't get in these first traps, but definitely there was an additional bull trap that came in. It looks like on pretty much everything. If I was trading by myself, I might have just exited everything right there. Got trapped on ES long. Yeah, it's market definitely got some folks.
I will say this. So we've had the whole deal, no deal thing before, right? So normally you get that really quick reaction and then back off to the races because people realize it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Let's
uh
did
I'm
did
scouting
tweeted.
for some more longs. Like we'll see. We got the initial flash. I mean, like you mentioned, market at really strong resistance levels that open. Can't go up forever. No big
Yep,
deal. So you
yep,
got a bunch of traps on some longs, and some swings might play out okay. We'll see. But for some initial day trades, yeah, I mean, lose on a trade, no big deal. Go try to find another one. That's really it.
yep, yep. Just have to wait for some type of reversal or a little bit more of a retest, I think. And the market's only been open 28 minutes. So there's no rush.
Bingo.
Do I like spy on this 3 minute? Let's see. Spy 3 minute. Like, are you asking me if I would play this? The answer would be no. I would wait for some type of double bottom. I can see why someone would want to trade this back bullish, but in my experience, unless there's like just a really strong hammer candle or something, even though this is a tweezer bottom, like this early in the day, this probably doesn't hold. Like we probably come up, hit the 10, come back down for like one little wick in and take everyone out who has their stop right below this tweezer. And if that happens, it'll probably happen relatively quick. So at this point, I think if I'm looking for, unless we get some real like nice consolidation sideways, for probably the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. And then, so that way VWAP, the moving averages can come down. We get some consolidation and then we pop through and go bullish. Otherwise, next level I think I'd want to buy off of is probably somewhere down in this 290.50. Walmart, let's take a look. So when the rest of the market trades down, Walmart going to trade bullish. This is one of those that is trading inverse to the overall market. Yeah, Walmart. You had this nice doji. You had a low day trap, consolidation below VWAP. My entry probably would have been right there. With the stop right there, which is actually pretty tight on Walmart, like a 40, 50-cent stop. I probably would have done 50 cents to make it easy. But yeah, that looks good. Like the way I explained my thoughts on Disney. Thank you. Yeah, even though it sucks to take a loser that quick, but man, it was such a perfect trap too. Oh, it just got us so bad. Those are the worst. But at least you're in and out. Nvidia did something very similar.
Yeah, man, those are the things where it's
Wow, look
like
at
for
that
me,
rejection.
like on Disney, yeah, if you lose, I mean, it's a good setup. It's like, hey, good try. I'll forget about that trade in like 2 days from now. I mean, those are the ones. It's like, all right, well, cool. It just didn't work. No big
2 days.
deal. Next.
Yeah. Lucas, am I still interested in Disney? I'm sure if it throws in some type of double bottom down here or like a huge hammer, something like that. Because again, it was a really nice gap. Still is holding the 50 on the daily. Is some kind of ugly morning star reversal. I have Disney long in another account, like long term. So yeah, I like Disney. But since that didn't hold, I need to wait for some type of double bottom. Like I'm not gonna get in Disney in here, like with VWAP right in front of me. Uh, if we do something like this is a perfect bearish rotation because look at this retrace. So this move retraced to 61.8. So unless we start taking this level out pretty soon, if I was shorting, maybe I didn't get short on the breakdown, but my entry would have been right here or right here short. So like in Jeremy talked about um the long day candle. This is only a 3-minute candle, but it's a long candle. It's a big candle on the 3-minute. So a 50% retrace or a 618 retrace of that move. What do you think? Entry 131. 131 on what? Logitech. 5241. 5241 is approximate 5109. Again, I think you need some type of consolidation. Like at this point, when it puts in huge candles like this, unless you already had an order floating out there, this looks to me like it's not going to just take off and run today. And again, it's gapping to an all-time high. There's a lot of volume from yesterday. It's a bullish candle. So what do you think all these people did when they bought yesterday and they're up? If they bought, like, let's say in the middle of this candle at open, they're up 6%. Um, there, there's going to be a lot of people that want to take profits on that, in my opinion, which is, I think, what's happening right here. So need to wait for that to reverse, or if I was just going to throw like a blind buy, it would be all the way down to like 51.50. But why buy it up here when you can buy it all the way down here? As Jeremy said, super obvious fade. His words. Work just looks like an inside day on work. So if we get, it's pretty much the same with everything. If we get some consolidation and then start to make a move bullish, I think we can continue to the bullish side. But with how hard this faded, and it looks like we're going to try to put in some type of bearish rotation here until we start getting closes above this doji candle, until we like test VWAP. As you can see, like on the overall market, we immediately failed this breakout and just never reclaimed VWAP. This upper wick right into VWAP. This upper wick didn't even make it to VWAP. This didn't make it to VWAP. So until we start doing that, um, still looking just a little bearish out there. Um, so hopefully that. Yeah, the swing trade, I mean, is fine. Because the swing trade, you guys were in for, you guys been in for a while. I'm not sure the exact location on that off the top of my head, but you've been in for a while. So, I mean, this is fine for a swing trade because it's just in an inside day and it creates a little bit of pressure. This could realistically put in another one or two inside days. And then that gives you a nice little pennant pattern, gives you a little bit of coiling, for that spring to compress and then pop to the upside. The whole like expansion leads to contraction, contraction leads to expansion. You're at 131.36 on Roku. Let's take a look. $131.36. Did you get filled on a limit buy? You bought the pullback, so you're buying the pullback, which is nice. Um, now I think you want to see it hold this level. So you're basically wanting this to double bottom in here. I think it's a little bit early for a reversal, so I don't think it's going to do that just by me looking at it. Um, but I can definitely see why you bought it. You didn't buy it here, so that's good. You didn't buy a breakout of 134.50, so that's nice. Because we wanted to see it hold above this level, like push like this, then grab a retest like that. This again, this just initial rotation here is not great, in my opinion. So I think we might have a little bit more bearish action in for us. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm looking to short because I don't think it's going to be massive bearishness out there. Like I do think we bounce, just a matter of when and where. And so, and without just throwing an order out there to try and catch, which I generally won't do that unless it's like right below a pivot or something like that. Like if we just started plummeting super fast and we're getting extended off the moving average, like Jeremy is like moving at parallel moving average theory. So we're just plummeting straight down very quickly. I might throw an order out like down in here, like 289.80 or 75, like below yesterday's low. So that way we try and catch that trap, catch a little bit of the reversion to the mean, exit, and then, look for something else. But for SPY to really be bullish, we either need to come down here, throw in some type of double bottom, or we need to start closing above this upper wick. How do you like NBL? I'm not familiar with this ticker. Mobile Noble Energy. It has a similar pattern of a lot of the other energy stocks. Energies were up pretty good today. It looks like they're starting to fade, like sector wise. So I think it probably trades like the rest of the sector. Um, I don't think it trades on its own technicals or news or anything today. Like I would bet if we go tomorrow, actually looks a little bit better. What were some of the other ones? Halliburton was gapping up today, so that looks a little bit similar to Noble. Slumberger was looking like it was potentially a nice gap, so it looks a little bit similar. So I think it just kind of trades with the rest of the energies. This actually looks a little bit weaker. Yeah, there's a swing on Marathon, and I know we looked at it. I think we looked at this one yesterday. So it's basically a play off of this candle, this high wave candle right here, inside candle. This barely poked above it, but then it's still a bullish close, right? It's still a bullish doji. You're above these moving averages. The next day you get an immediate gap up. So yeah, that's a nice gap today, as long as it holds. You want to see that type of price action hold like immediately. Kind of like on Disney where that didn't hold immediately, like that's a bad sign. Because if people are really trapped, then it's gonna you're gonna get some continuation through that level. Survived the Trump tweet very well. TNK, the tankers. I think the move on the tankers is done. Personally, from a chart standpoint, I don't really see too much on it because again, it's just a little bit of an inside day gap. Like if we gapped like down here or down here, I could say, hey, there's definitely some people trapped. But where's the long terms on this? Yeah, or like if it gapped below the 200 or something, but I don't think I'd be coming in and shorting it. I think it's probably hard to short too. Let's see. TNK is one. No, it says, and then Sting, I think, is another one. Scorpio, yeah. Yeah, they don't look particularly strong. I just don't know if I'd be just because something's not a long doesn't necessarily mean it's a short. How do I like KO above 46.24 on the daily? Yeah, if we start getting back above there, I think that looks nice. This is really getting squeezed with the 10 and the 20 right here. We'll see how it responds. If it forms it, if today closes like this and we get a gap up, and that'd be really, really cool. I assume that you're talking about a swing trade because I don't know that it's gonna do that today. Like you'd probably want it earlier on a day trade. You'd probably want it like above these tweezers kind of thing. Yeah, swing trade. But Coca-Cola is one of those, like, it's not an exciting stock. This is like a buy a couple shares every paycheck and save it for your kids like 20 years later and collect some dividends. That's kind of how I think about Coca-Cola. Yeah, definitely not bill paying. So this is a nice handle here. We do have a little bit of a lower wick to potentially trap some people. That looks like we're trying to take this short. But we got to start getting closes above this doji, in my opinion. And you have VWAP right there. Disney is trying to recover. I'm not going to go long right here. I just can't with VWAP right there. But any of the bears, I mean, this is where they have their stop, right? So they're shorting it into here. They're probably taking a partial here or a partial here, looking for this rollover. This is a higher low. So that's nice. But it's still a little early. So this thing needs to start to get closes back up here. And then like if it closed bullish, like some type of shaved top candle. Well, it also has a shaved bottom. It's like a Marabozu. Then threw a little bearish candle in. That would be nice right below VWAP. Then you can take it back above. Unless you're Berkshire Hathaway, then KO pays the bills. Yeah, if you're getting millions of dollars dividends, then yeah, Coca-Cola can definitely pay the bills. Thoughts on Amazon? I mean, I like Amazon long term. I'm assuming that's what you're asking about because there's not it's more of an inside day to day. I like Amazon long term. It ran up just so massive into earnings. I mean, I don't. Who is this person buying Amazon? I hope there's no one in the chat, but if so, that's why you're here. Who is buying at the close of day on Amazon before earnings after this had this move? I mean, Amazon literally added like $300 billion in market cap in like 4 days. Who buys at a new all time high after it moved like 20%, like right before earnings? Uh, you 5 million shares. Yeah, I like Amazon. I have some. I have. How do I get out of here? Annotate, clear my drawings. Okay. So I have some Amazon, but I think it needs to rest up here for a little bit. 10 years ago, for all the calls. Yeah. Oh, Jeremy 10 years ago. Yeah. All the calls. Amazon has to gap up. I mean, look at it. Like literally the high is 247, 24.75, and the close is $1 less than that on a $2,400 stock. So I like Amazon, but I'm not adding here. I actually trimmed. I have like a whopping 13 shares. I trimmed into, I think 24.33 was my last sell. And then I'll look for a retest down in here and I'll add another share back. Since I obviously don't have enough to like hedge with options, I kind of try to make my own little dividend or something by selling a share into strength, buying it into weakness, that kind of thing. Like trade around a core position size for me. So here's SPY with the test of VWAP. What are my thoughts on Tesla now? Let's see. Yeah, that is, I like that. We pushed back above these upper wicks, threw in this high wave doji. I could not buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish candles in a row. Some type of hammer. There's not really a hammer down here. This pennant breaks. It does immediately trap them. If I was going to play this, oh man, I'd have to play some type of a retest like this. I'd really rather prefer a double bottom though, or like some type of hammer candle. Change my view app color. I'd have to play some type of retest of this pullback, and I don't think I would have got in on this either. The only way I would have got in on it is if I was watching it when this happened, and it would have been something like this. It would have been something like this, like an entry right. If I was watching it at this time, an entry right here with a stop below the low of the opening range, and then I would be exiting a, probably like a third or something like that, because this is more like a scalp. I'd probably exit a third, wait for it to retest, and then try to get another move. AMD. Oh man, look at that upper wick. Yeah, AMD. I mean, I think you're waiting for a retest back into this upper wick, halfway of this candle. It didn't quite get there. If you don't use VWAP, I could totally see someone entering like right here with a stop, like a conservative stop, you're going to put right there. An aggressive stop, you're going to put right there. I can't take this trade because the volume weighted average price is right there, and it's not 1-to-1. So, because I could get triggered in, it throws in an upper wick to VWAP and then just rolls over. So, but that's just part of my plan. Some people that don't use VWAP very much, hey, I could see that all day. Or if like you're literally just using candles, like if I go to AMD and I'm playing on a 3-minute and I'm like just using candles, then yeah, entry right there, stop right there. Trade it up into this area for target one. He's talking about me. Yeah, like Jeremy, I think would probably take this.
I'm actually looking at it. Since today is most likely going to be like one of those weird, kind of like resting, kind of strange days, and tomorrow could be really nice. I'm just going to throw in random limit buy orders in case you get some, those strange spikes. So like on AMD, since it kind of looks like a double bottom on a 3-minute, I'd play it like 55.20 by 54.60. So again, just kind of throwing in some random limit buys just to see if we pull down to kind of strange areas is how I'm looking at approaching most things. Same thing with Tesla, Disney, whatever. I'm just gonna throw in some random lows because it's still early. I mean, the market's been open not even an hour yet. So we have all the time in the world to throw in some random wicks and pop around and do some stuff.
Yeah. So, to me, the price action is bearish today until things start getting back above the volume weighted average price or consolidate. It's so early. You don't really see like a lot of reversals around 8:20 in the morning. So for me, I would just continue to wait, which is actually, I hope I didn't subconsciously like cause this to happen, because my first trade on Tuesday, I feel like is just not good. And then my second trade is usually good because I'll wait like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something like that. I hope I didn't subconsciously do that today. But you like City 40, you subconsciously flush the market. I wish, man. I wish I could do that. 64 by 37. So you're anticipating a double bottom, basically. Yeah, so trying to anticipate the double bottom. Yep. I know that Blake's done that a lot. I've tried it quite a few times. There's been, if there's like some key areas on some stuff, I'll take those, but I haven't had massive success with that particular strategy. So the good thing is, if you do get a bounce, you're right here. You can immediately move your stop, though. That's one of the good things with anticipation. Like you can immediately move your stop. Like right now, if you bought that, I mean, you could literally just stick your stop right there, like right away, and you're literally risking 4 cents, and you have technically unlimited, um, you know, bullish potential for this to just continue higher. But when it pretty much pivots off of almost that exact area, you do have a little bit of a trap here below this. So low, the exact low is 59. So below this like 61, 62 area. So that's one of the great things about a trade like that is if it does bounce, boom, you immediately can tighten your stop. And at that point, even if it starts to get up into 44, 44.20, 44.50, it's like your risk reward was so good because, yeah, you put in the stop initially, but because you tightened it up so quick, like your risk reward was so much better because your actual risk was only out there for like a minute or two. The high 69, 68. So we didn't even go higher than that. Immediate rejection. Yeah, I think we got to come in for a little bit bigger of a double bottom. Let's get everything on the 5 minute now. So aim at, and oh, the 5 minute wasn't that great. 3 minute, I definitely can see a short on it. See, Art's in on a short on Wells. Well, you're definitely getting what you want. If you shorted this break or the break and then a retest, I mean, it literally retested the very next candle. So perfect retest. That's what you want. Didn't even reclaim for like more than a minute or two. Rolled over. You have this pivot. So you're probably taking gains into this new low. And then I would assume that your stop's probably right there at this point now. Man, this thing's getting pummeled. Yeah, the banks overall, they're just, oh man, they're not looking good. That's the only thing about City, just the overall sector. Even though it looks like this might be strong support, the overall sector looks rough. Was that exactly what you did on WFC? Was short this retest? Nice textbook short. All right, let's go back over. Take a look. So SPY, there's the roll right off of VWAP. Oh man, look at this on IWM. This is why I generally don't like to be the first one back in through VWAP. So Brad's famous death doji right there. That doji comes in. People are getting in bullish immediately, just wrecked. So the doji of death. I see there's another trap on Disney. Through VWAP, immediate, closing back below on a larger candle. Yeah, things don't look super bullish just yet. This would be some area that if you're trying to get a retest on Tesla, this just isn't. I need a more of a double bottom for me or some type of hammer on that one. Roku threw in a Doji of Delight on the 5 minute. So we did make a lower low here. Let's zoom in, see if we got some volume. A little bit of volume there. I could see if you took an entry right here with a stop right there, something like this. I could see that. I don't think it offers one-to-one to VWAP. And not quite one-to-one. If you take a retest and do something like this, then it might offer one-to-one towards VWAP, but it has to work really quick. Otherwise, like VWAP continues to come down, and then it squeezes your risk reward potentially. But yeah, I'm going to continue to be patient. I think we have plenty of opportunity to continue to consolidate and then look for a move bullish. I was looking at INO. Yeah, INO. I think my entry would have been here. Did this make a lower low? Low is 1162. Low of this, so 1 penny lower. So really nice immediate recovery. We're back above the volume weighted average price. You get a little bit of a bearish candle. So like the last hurrah of the bears here, and then it immediately trapped them. Would have gotten skipped. Yeah, probably. Possible tweezer bottom forming on SPY. Yeah, possibly. So like if this does double bottom and then we set up for a good opportunity to go long back through here, yeah, I could see something like that. But that's why I don't want to be the first one in right there, because it's too early for that type of reversal with the amount of selling that we had, and it didn't pull back far enough to really say, hey, we're bouncing off some super strong support just yet. Because if I zoom out a little bit, we didn't even make it to the 50% retrace of this move yet. Sorry to bother you again. AMD is breaking VWAP in the 20. Let's take a look. Yeah, so if you're not in AMD on the breakout, then I could see, man, depending on how this candle closes, it's got 1 minute left. Something like this. Like with an entry on a retest. Yeah, you could retest VWAP or like a little bit of a wick like through it. Probably like that. Then you could do 96. That's 60 cents worth of risk. 60 cents would be in through here. So yeah, you could definitely do something like that. Let me take a look. The cues. Okay, this action is really nice on the cues. So yeah, if the cues holds up here, this is a bit of a not a perfect rest after battle, but a pretty nice one. And that could bode well for some of these tech stocks. Like, let's throw AMD over here because we've been looking at it quite a bit. Move it up in this area, right above AMAT too. It might not retest though. Like it would need to fill like in the next probably 10 minutes or something. Where still holding below. SDC didn't hold. That probably fades all day. Come on, Trading View. There we go. SDC exit points on options. $8 expiry for regular May. I would have probably exited them on the open on SDC or trail your stop loss on them. So I know some folks like looking at some things on TOS. So I think Jeremy showed this before, but I'll go ahead and do it for those of you that I know there were some people that messaged me that they like just opened a TOS account. So May 15th, $8 calls. I know there's some other messages. I'll try to get back to those after I show this. So I just went in and copied this. You just hit copy on the option, or you can send to if you like label your charts with a color. And then you go up here, you want to, let's hit it like that. And then let's say you wanted to trail it on like the 15 or something. So you want to make sure that you click the little cog wheel, and you want to synchronize your cross hair position. Hit OK. And so that way, when you hover across a candle, it'll give you the horizontal line on the corresponding chart. So like if this 15-minute candle, if I want to know what the price of the SDC option would probably be, I would take a look at this chart and say, okay, I want it below this candle. I'd come over here. So I'd say, all right, I'm going to put my stop on the option at 127, let's say. Or if you wanted to trail it below this opening bar now, then you could trail it up to like 149. But honestly, I probably would have exited into the open just because SDC's had such a strong push, and this was a pretty large gap this morning. And it does have earnings. It's also like, do you want to hold over earnings or not? It's up to you and your plan. On options that expire like that very week, so 2 days later, I personally wouldn't hold over earnings because if it doesn't gap, you lose all of that IV. Walmart, yeah, Walmart looks good. Looks good. We weren't watching this one, so we missed it. The entry was down here. And if I would have put in some type of S curve, it wouldn't have filled. It probably would have been down in this area, 124.75 or something. So those calls, very similar. You can chart them the same way that I showed you guys on on SDC. So you just go over to Walmart, figure out if you don't want to hold through earnings, just want to hold on the run up to them. Not sure which ones they were, but let's say they were June 5th or something. You can go in, copy them, paste them to a chart. Link the crosshairs. So click the little cog wheel and then just synchronize crosshair position. Yeah, it'll show. So when you have two charts, it'll show the vertical line. Oh, this one is, so since this is still a stock, it's showing both. But if it's an option, it'll only show the vertical line, not the horizontal line. And then Tesla did break out. Yep. So increasing volume through that new high at the very top. You want to see this immediately start to push through because of the volume there. Although it does look like a nice inverted head and shoulders. So you do have increased volume into a new high. Let's see, like Josh is in one here. So yeah, so he's exiting 10% into this new high. And then we'll probably end up moving his stop, I'm guessing, if there's any type of rotation. Because Tesla can definitely surge through. But I do like to keep an eye on volume into new high with like upper wicks is generally, unless it immediately reclaims it, that's a potential reversal signal. So Jeremy basically bracketing this candle, playing this double bottom down here. So yeah, that looks really nice. Yeah, see, so sometimes like just totally ignoring VWAP, definitely works out. Just like everything. Everything works, just not all the time.
Yeah, I did sell 1/20th at the VWAP though.
Oh, okay. 5%.
The good old 5%er.
That's funny. Yeah, nice, man. Let's see what. So Roku, I know Thomas was looking at MU. So Micron. Oh man, Micron really got hammered out the gate. So Micron still, I think, has potential with some consolidation underneath VWAP, and then a surge through it potentially. I know you guys hear me talking about VWAP a lot, and again, if some of you don't use it, that totally it makes sense to me. But for me and my plan, I use it pretty heavily. Took AMD with real money and Roku on paper. We weren't in two at once. Oh, Art calls it VWAP. Blake used to call it VWAP. We got him switched over to VWAP. Like, who
Hard
calls
A.
it VWAP?
The hard A.
Yeah. So yeah, Art, we'll get you switched over to VWAP here soon. What color is VWAP? It's the goldish yellow right here. Goldish yellow is my VWAP. That is an Italian VWAP. Maybe. I'm Italian, so I can make fun of Italians. Can't hold it against me. Let's go back over to AMD. We were looking at AMD for a retest, which we haven't got. We'd want it to happen pretty soon. Did you get filled on AMD, Jeremy, or did this candle miss you by a couple pennies?
Yep, missed by a few pennies.
Yep, like 4 cents.
But it might get it again at 55.20. I still kind of like it if it actually gets all the way down there.
Yeah, the longer it takes, like the more I'd probably put my entry like down here. I like 50-cent stops on AMD.
Oh, I haven't tried the 25-cent challenge yet.
Oh,
I
you
still need to
haven't?
do that.
Oh
No, I still need
man,
to do that. You just
what are you
reminded
waiting
me that I
for? You
haven't
didn't do that on Tesla?
done it. Yeah.
You like enter and get stopped out immediately. The 25-cent challenge was brutal to Thomas. Me too, man. It punched me right in the face. But at least I tried it. So nothing on Disney. Tesla. Yeah, I'd probably trail my stop up pretty tight on this one. Just because of that volume, and it has not reclaimed it yet. So like if I was in this trade, my stop would probably go right here.
Yeah, so if you go to AMD, AMD's gonna be the stock. I'll tell everyone in advance. That'll be the stock that I'll do the 25-cent challenge on.
Yeah.
Look at this 2-minute chart. The 2-minute on AMD. You're gonna have to play a 2-minute, 3-minute, or 1-minute to get a 25-cent good play.
Mm-hmm.
But that little hammer where it makes that new low, the little bear trap
Down
right there.
here. Oh yeah, you would have been quick.
Well, no, not that one. Let me see if I can annotate on your screen.
This one.
Right. Yeah, this guy right there.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. So that would have been 25 cents, and that's a really really nice trap too. Would have been.
Yeah, because it came lower than this one.
Exactly.
Yeah, 5504, 5502. Yep. Yeah, and it did retest. So if for some reason you didn't get it in time, or you did get skipped, then yeah, this candle retested.
Yeah,
That would have been killer.
So it'll be a fun challenge, but it will be AMD is the one. The one that I do it on will definitely be AMD, and it will absolutely be on the 1 or 2-minute charts for sure.
Can I make Wells go down for you? I mean, I literally cut this market cap in half, man. When I stopped working for them, I mean, what else do you want? It's literally been cut in more than half. But it's getting to a point where like the valuation's getting ridiculous. But I mean, I get it. The banks, the fundamentals, the economic outlook is just not good for them right now. Not good at all. You worked for them? Yep. Yeah, I did. So yeah, but it's looking rough. I mean, it's not like it's bouncing a whole lot. So you're looking good. I was a area president, so I managed all the branches my most recent role with them. I managed all the branches in southern Idaho. How old am I? I just turned 30. Gosh, you're gonna make me go through a midlife crisis. I just turned 37.
37.
Jeremy and I have the same birthday, except I'm 5 years older than him.
37.
Your friend works for the fraud department? Okay, yeah, they have a big fraud department. You sound 69. Am I a smoker? No. Man, brutal today.
Oh,
man, the chat is brutal today.
Yeah, man. You know how it is.
The radio voice is because of the compression. I used get this out of my way. I used my my program here, so I have compression applied to my microphone. So like it brings down the highs and it brings it brings up the lows to try and get that radio voice. So I literally sound nothing like this. I'm kidding. That's what happens when you have a loss. Yesterday we loved you. I know. Tough, man. So yeah, I mean, Spy it never got back above VWAP. Again, a VWAPper slapper. Q's is still holding pretty strong though. IWM is probably looking rough. Yeah, it's been long IWM or long Q's, short IWM. I sound like Wolfman Jack. I don't even know who that is. That must be some type of like boomer thing.
Wolfman Jack. Oh man. No clue who that is.
Yeah, no idea. Too young to know Wolfman. Yeah, evidently. Now you're making the rest of us feel old. Yeah, let's get back to stocks. Otherwise, you guys might not vote for me at the end. But for reals, I need like 60-second, 70-second break. You want to take the mic real quick, Jeremy?
Go for it, man.
All right, be right back.
Go for it. Jim says, watch American Graffiti. I'm trying to remember if I have seen that movie. I guess off the top of my head, if I can't remember it, I haven't. But man, it sounds so familiar. Got to see that one. He was a DJ. All right. Amazing movie, says Eric Hensley. All right, I'll check it out. I will watch it tonight. I am in Roku. So Roku is the only day trade I'm in presently. And I'm going to try to be patient on it. Again, market's been open an hour and a half. SPY took a little bit of a sell-off just a few moments ago. We can kind of see that on Robert's screen. So anything that didn't sell off strong or still is above all of its moving averages, those are the kind of ones to focus on. So I'm watching, AMD, Tesla, and Roku. Those are the top three. And banks are still weak. Yeah. So Citigroup went a lot lower, and Arts and Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is about to slowly start tapping out. And Apple's just grinding. Amazon's grinding. So today is going to be a little bit of a resting day. I mean, honestly, had a really fantastic day yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty strong move in the markets. And today's just going to be a little bit of a rest, I think, on just the broader picture market. Broader markets, a little bit of a rest. Tomorrow we'll probably come back. Things will look more pretty and more normal for our Wednesday. So we'll just kind of have to find out. But Edward says, do you think Square is going to do anything? Today, I do not. Nope, I don't think Square is going to do anything. You might be able to carve out a quick gain on Square.
This is looking kind of nice on SQ.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Like it could break above the VWAP and close above there, and you could maybe do a limit buy around 72, 75, 25. But I don't think it's going to do anything astronomically fantastic.
Yeah, some inside days on the daily would be good for Square.
Exactly. It just ran so much. It doesn't mean that you can't win. It's just I like to look for edge and try to figure out really who's super pumped and excited about a move. And on Roku, Square, I just can't really tell who's really fired up.
Yeah, Disney does look weak, Lucas. It's just it didn't work immediately. And then this other bullish play right here was an immediate trap. So, yeah, I think Disney's probably done for the day unless it does something miraculous. Because it is going to trade with SPY, and SPY looks pretty weak. SPY looks pretty weak to me. Hold on, let me click Bob's. Do I remember Wolfman Jack? Never seen this guy in my life. He's got a nice tan, but I've never seen this guy in my life.
Well, that's what you sound like, apparently.
Oh man.
Dude, to remind me, if anyone ever has a losing day, they just get pummeled on the microphone. That's the way.
Yeah, seriously.
I
There is an audio clip at the bottom. Okay, I have to listen to it now. Like this thing? Oh, hold on. I have the wrong audio source. What's this guy sound like?
Who is this on the Wolfman telephone? Diane. How you doing, Diane? All right. That's the Wolfman. Do you love me?
He's on tape. The man is on tape. Well,
He's not even talking.
Where is
Was I relayed? It'll be on tomorrow or Tuesday.
No. See, this is
Wolfman Jack sounds legit.
See, I may be leaving.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, take it as a compliment.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Can I also sound like Wolfman Jack? Is that a possibility?
Do I look like him? Is that what you said? Oh.
Robert's the polar opposite of Wolfman Jack. Can you get a white paper plate painted with white paint? That's kind of like what Robert looks like.
Yeah, I did not get any of the Italian skin tone. That's all my brother. So now we might start to get a little double bottom action. Starting to get a little bit later. Wells, we'll see. I think that's probably done. Baba, nothing great from this one today. Shop just retested and then went bullish. So someone about to dip on that. Looks good. Logitech looks like a fade. BTIQ. I'm just going to take these off because I don't think I'm going to trade those anyways. Same with SDC. I think that one's probably done for the day. Square. I do kind of like that move on SQ, but buying 50% of this candle would be back below VWAP. The daily is not super great. AMAT, I'm just going to delete that one. AMD, that was Jeremy's 25 center. I think we were setting something up like this, and that did not trigger. So yeah, you would have had to grab right in the middle of this candle. So that one's no good. Twitter's probably done. I'm gonna take that one off. Roku, I know some folks were looking at these candles right here. You did get filled on this. That looks good. I don't see any reason why Roku should break back below this shaved bottom candle. So my stop would probably be trailed there. That's below the 50, the volume weighted average price, the 20 and the 5, all with extended, without extended. You have volume weighted average price, the 10 and the 20 exponential also in your favor. And AMD got filled on the bounce off of VWAP. In here somewhere. Or sometimes the volume weighted average price has been different. It's pretty much in the same spot on Thinkorswim. So that's nice. So let's see what SPY does now on the first push through VWAP. Because this just slapped it down earlier. Yeah, Tesla, my stop would be trailed all the way up under this. Like if we don't rotate higher soon, it's probably going to push back down lower. Is the program that you use free? No, Thor. It's it comes with the Go XLR, which is like a streaming like audio mixer thing. It's not free. Uber must be getting some news. Lyft plans $650 million debt offering. That's earlier today, so that's not it. Kramer, I'm not sure what the news is yet on Uber, but it's some type of news. So all of a sudden, 5 million shares. Uber buying Grub. Oh, what a waste of money. They should be selling Uber Eats to Grubhub is what they should be
What
doing.
a waste of money. Why is it popping on that news? Ugh.
I mean, they're already burning like billions of dollars. Now they're going to go spend more money.
Burning it. I mean, lighting it on fire.
So, funny story about the ride sharing thing. I actually text Jeremy. I think it was it Sunday or Saturday? I
Saturday.
texted him. Like I woke up and I'm like, I had this dream, but I wasn't sure if it was a dream that Jeremy had posted in Slack that he was going like heavy on Lyft. And I woke up and I was trying to find it on Slack and I couldn't find it. So I texted him and I said, "Hey, did you just go heavy on Lyft? I think it was a dream, but I could have sworn I saw it in Slack." And he's like, "No, man, but thanks for dreaming about me."
Yeah.
He's not heavy on Lyft.
Nope. I have no position in Lyft right now.
But yeah, dreaming about Slack posts of people going heavy on stock tickers. So Grub is halted, is what some folks are saying. Yeah. And just reopened.
Oh, wow. Look at Grubhub. Man.
Yeah, going through the moon.
Why would it not? I mean, if they're going to get bought out.
Yeah. Now, this is just on rumor. This is a volatility halt. So this is not a 12T halt. This is a volatility halt. If a stock moves up, what is it, like 15% in 2 minutes or something? Is the volatility halt, I think.
Yep, I believe so.
But yeah, I mean, if you are an owner of Grub, I mean, I would be selling into this rally for sure. And it's halted again. Wow. Interesting stuff. But yeah, why Uber would be trading up on that, I have no idea. Can you short Grub? I mean, I wouldn't short into something like this because it could still keep squeezing higher. And when it gets halted like that, you never know when something's going to reopen. So I don't personally play halts at all. Woodshed Williams says anybody that dreams about Jeremy automatically wins the moderator challenge. Nice. Uber laid off a ton of employees as well. And I think like 1,700, something like that. Jeremy's moving his stop loss on Roku. Really? That's it? That's all?
That's it, man. I'm gonna try to snag. I gotta get 2 R's on this beast. That's my goal. So
Yeah.
it was bouncing. If you're really wondering why, if you pop over to that beautiful little 30-minute 105 EMA.
So 30-minute.
Oof. 5-minute. Yeah. So that's pretty much why I played it. That, and I liked it from yesterday. I mean, it did look good. It didn't work this morning, obviously. I tried it on another trade, so just working on getting it back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get it back plus some. Yeah, if you can get it closed back above this, like a new relative high in here. The high this candle was 33.59, 133.61, and then it got rejected. So if you take that out again, that would be nice. But I just don't think it should come back below this area. Yeah, I mean, Wells, you probably have your stop below your break-even point at this point. So personally, I would tighten it up to this 24, like 62 area. Because you want it to do the same thing it did over here. Like I'm into the 10, throw in an upper wick, and then fail, which is what it looks like it's doing. This guy, Mind Reader. Mind Reader. I mean, it's like an obvious pivot point, right? So American Express. Are you thinking a short term, like a day trade, Chris? Swing trade, investment, swing, long. This thing just has a really nice pennant pattern here. The problem with these, I think Jeremy said this yesterday, is these can go on for like a long time. It is in payments, kind of, but it trades more like a bank. So I would personally be waiting for, where's the little brush? A breakout of this pennant pattern somehow, retest, and then go to take it long. Like, I don't think I would want to get in right here, because if it comes back down again, that's just another lower relative high, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So you don't really know which way that this thing's going to go until you get the break, and then I'd take the retest and then play it long. So I don't think I could enter it in this area. Now, if you just want to buy a few shares like longer term, I think accumulating some down here isn't bad. And maybe you buy, like, if you're looking for just long-term ownership on some American Express, maybe you buy a couple right now. You buy, like, if I'm going to enter a 100 share position, I'll usually do like 10, 20, 30, 40. So 10 shares, 20 shares, 30 shares, 40 shares, something like that, some type of pyramid. And then as it makes new relative highs, like sell a covered call up here somewhere, that kind of thing. And Tesla, yep, there you go. Oh, dang it. There we go. Yeah, that's where my stop would be. And now that you've taken out this volume, it could continue to push. Let's see, Roku. Yeah, Roku looks good. AMD not looking back. So unfortunately, my plan just kept me out of some of these bounces down in here. A good target on Tesla, I know Jeremy said 865 was one that he was looking at. So right into this. Is there something on the hourly? I would probably go, what's the high of this candle? The high of this candle right here is 860. So I would either go a few pennies above or a few pennies below. So Jeremy likes 865. I would take this pivot point from this earnings day, and I would go like 859.80 or like 860.20 or something like that. Either want to front run this number. Josh has a similar target, 859.85. And these pivots, by the way, this is just a study over here that you can add. Pivots HL, and then you can change the length high and length low if you want. Yeah, that would probably be my target on Tesla. Unless there was something else that came in or it, trailed me out or something like that. But it's risky to go into trade now on Tesla. Well, I mean, there's risk in every trade. It's just a matter of, is the risk reward worth it according to your trading plan? So if your trading plan says these are the setups I like to trade, because you know what you're going to lose, right? You're only going to lose 1R. Maybe you lose, like, something crazy happens and you get some slippage. Maybe you lose like 1.1. There's only been maybe 5 trades that I can remember that I've lost like 2R on something to where I just got some massive slippage. One of them was a really bad fill that I called my broker on and they gave me an adjustment. But other than that, you know what your risk is going to be, right? So if your risk is 1R, do you think wherever your entry is, you're going to have a good risk reward to either, hey, this is a high probability setup and I'm going to get like a 1-to-1, or this is a 50-50 trade, but my potential is 1.5 or 2 or even greater. So if your plan shows that that's the case, then you can take the trade. So when you say is it risky, I mean everything's risky. Does it meet my trading plan to go in on this? No, it doesn't. Um, like I said, I was either looking for a wick below this area, some type of hammer, which I mean, this is a nice bullish candle, but it wasn't really a hammer. I just wasn't looking at it when this candle came in. Otherwise, this entry would have been gorgeous. So, like, if we go back, so let's say I am watching this. Let's go trading view. There we go. So you have a nice high wave. Let's throw VWAP on here. So you got a nice high wave bearish candle. This thing is not holding VWAP right now. It keeps changing on me. Make it gold. There we go. So wicks up into the volume weighted average price. Nice high wave candle. This candle comes in, looks like a bearish candle, or it is a bearish candle, looks like a potential bearish move. You get this nice pop. This is your first close above VWAP. So now I'm like, okay, is this thing going to hold the volume weighted average price? So I want to see it hold this. If it immediately starts to just get crushed lower, like puts in a candle like this or something like this on the very next candle, then I know that that's probably not going to continue. When this candle closes, I'm like, oh, heck yeah. Because this says indecision. It's holding the 20, the 10. I don't really look at the 50, but sometimes a little bit intraday. And it's also back above VWAP. Yeah, because bearish traders also use VWAP. Yeah. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to enter here with a stop. I like to use opening range, like rather than do this because this is really, really big. This would be like if I put a stop down here that's like $12 and we've already been open. So most of the, like, it's not like on the open, you want to be a little bit wider with your stops because things can get really crazy on the open. My stop would have been so something reasonable, like not here because I don't want to get wicked out, but like a lot of people use the opening range. So I would set something up like this. And then that candle, I would go, oh crap, I just got wicked in. What are you doing, Robert? This is not a good trade. And then when this candle comes in, I'm like, you're the man. You're the best trader ever. And then I'd be like, okay, very sweet. You're getting a little bit nervous that, oh, it's going to roll down, but it's inside. We're still holding this breakout a little bit. I'd be a little nervous again on this candle. This candle would come in, and you saw how it was initially forming. This is why waiting for the close of the candles is really good, because initially when it was forming, it was looking pretty bearish. This is where Josh got in, it looks like, right on this. So once this candle closes, I'm like, heck yeah, that's nice. So now I'm going to look, this looks like an S curve. If I come in and start to draw, this is what I would want this thing to do. So initially, when that candle's forming, you're like, oh crap, here we go again. And then once it closes nicely. Has a nice little morning star reversal. This candle comes in. Now I'm looking for, okay, if we get a nice close, like a push through this candle here, this upper wick, and we start to get closes up here, now I'm going to look at moving my stop. So this candle comes in, I'm moving my stop now. So my stop is honestly going to go like right here. And I'm taking a portion through the new high. So like I'm probably going to take 10% right there. So I'm going to take 10% as this makes a new high, because everybody who bought down here and in here, like where are they going to sell? They're also going to sell here. Where are the noobs going to buy? The noobs are going to buy right here. I want to sell to them. I'm not going to take the whole thing off because it's working. It only didn't work for like a few minutes right here. So I'm taking some off on that new high. This comes in, I zoom into the 1 minute like I did earlier. You do see that the volume on the upper wick, which I don't particularly love. But boom, you get a retest right there of the 10. You get an inside candle. You get another lower wick, and you're like, oh man, it's going to come back and I'm going to lose a half an hour. I mean, I think everyone thinks this. I think Jeremy still thinks it. Another inside candle inside of this one. This looks nice. This looks like it's getting ready to explode, and we need a push and close at a new high here. That's what we're waiting on. That doesn't give it to us. Looks like we're coiling here, and then boom. So now stop is gonna, for me, it's gonna go like right here. So there's my new stop. And then I'm just going to see, now that my stop's above break even, I'm just going to see where it goes. I didn't want to play. I just skipped ahead. So yeah, my stop's above break even and we're trending nicely. You have a trend line like this. That, I mean, it's probably not sustainable all day, but looks really nice. So that was the trade that I personally could have taken that met my plan, that I just didn't see it. Unfortunately, just can't be watching all of them all the time. But this candle was the one that's like, you got to do something with it. So this candle right there is like, trade me. And on this one, for you video game fans, once you see this candle and it breaks above it, you just
Oh my god, he just ran in.
You just hit that one with the breakout. That was actually on Sports Center, by the way, yesterday. It was like a this day in history kind of thing. Yeah, for the Brad knows it. He was a World of Warcraft nerd. Is Brad out there? Lauren played it as well. I never played World of Warcraft, but I did play some EverQuest back when I was a kid. You have covered calls at Tesla on Tesla at 900, expiring next week. Your purchase price is $856. Should I close it out? I'm not afraid to get called away, but I'm afraid it's reaching its highs for the week and it might go down to 700. I just don't want to hold on the shares of Tesla since Elon hasn't done anything erratic in a while. He hasn't done anything erratic in a while. He just opened the factory right back or right into the stay-at-home order. But yeah, I mean, if you have the covered call, I mean, you might as well keep it because at this point you would have to close the covered call for a loss, right? Yeah, so I would just wait. If you get called away, I mean, you're going to get called away for a nice profit. So I would just hold it. What's left on it? Let's see. We're getting close to that 10-day mark where like the theta decay should, well, we're at it. Should start to erode this option as long as it's out of the money. And it's still, I mean, you got $20 plus worth of premium here that you have a chance to let theta just start to tick away at. So yeah, I would just leave it. Tesla, it keeps its premium pretty well on the options chain. So theta isn't going to really start to kill it until next week. But generally 10 days out, the theta curve starts to accelerate. Worst case, next Friday, get your 20 and sell another one for June at 1,000. Yep, there you go. Yeah, and then you have, if you're holding the shares longer term, you either are comfortable not having a stop on the shares, or you have a place where you're going to buy a protective put, or you just have a trailing stop on the shares. Jeremy's about to hit target 2 on Roku. Yeah, I saw you posted your trade. I guess I should have looked at it and taken it. But yeah, gosh. Roku. This thing has just been so strong.
Roku, man.
Roku is not going Broku.
No.
Yeah, this one might have had 1-to-1 to VWAP.
It was honestly the way I played it was like 1 to half and at VWAP, and so I took off
Yeah, that's why you did
5%.
partial.
Yeah, I took off 5% at partial. It was just a 105. It was just honestly, man, I liked it yesterday. I tried it this morning. It didn't work. Lost a full R. But I really liked it yesterday, and it was bouncing off the 105 on the 5-minute chart. I was like, well, I'll just try it again.
Yep. Now, are you going to take a gain into like 134.50, or are you going to wait for 135?
Yep, 134.38 is my target too. And then I'll move my stop up to probably 132 and then try to get some off at 135, and I'll be profitable for the day.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Maloney's in it with me. Nice.
Disney, let's see. So SPY, that looks like we're forming. Who can tell me what pattern this is on SPY right here? I don't think Jeremy will let me give out FTPs, but what pattern is this looking like? Depending on how this candle closes. Rest after battle. Yep, there you go. I love these patterns. This is also like for those of you that like cup and handles, a cup and then the handle sometimes looks like a little rest after battle. So also like a little flag pattern, double bottom, a little bit of a retest, and then a push higher. The Big Dipper. The Big Dipper pattern. Yeah, I could definitely see the Big Dipper or the Little Dipper, depending on what time frame you're on, right? So let's take a look. Disney. I already got that here. Keeps changing. The good old Disney. This is going to make me trade it again. The question is, where would my stop go? Because this is probably too big. So I think it would have to go here. Low of this candle, 107.69. High of this. I'd probably have to just do 60. That way it's 80 cents. All right, 40 and 40. Yeah, 80 cents. Let me take a look. Some good old time frame alignment. 15-minute candle has 4 minutes left. 30. Okay, we did break this 30. That would be move back above that. So we'll see if we get one more bearish candle, and if we can get a nice rest after battle there, we can look at setting that up again. But man, if we lose on that, that would put me negative for the 2 days. So Square never retested really this push. Wolfman Jack would be disappointed. That would seal your fate. Oh no. Baba looks nice there too. Let's see what SPY does here. We didn't get a close above here, so the rest after battle didn't really work. This went like 1 penny higher. Three pennies. Let's go check out Disney one more time on the daily. I kind of did the same thing yesterday right here. Is what we're looking for. So see how there's this trend line break. It was a little bit, it was about an hour from now. So we'll see how this next candle closes. Use these might be trading into some resistance. Apron. I mean, Jeremy's the apron whisperer. I think he would have to comment on this one. As soon as the company starts doing reverse splits, in my opinion, it's just they do that so that the stock can continue to go lower and that it can remain listed and it doesn't become a over the counter stock. So not Apron's just not in my wheelhouse. I'll put it that way. Robin, do I have time for a quick education session? Yeah, of course. What's up? I'm just browsing through some of the tickers that we looked at. Can you please explain the options right hand window? Options. Just this? Oh, so this is the active trader. Oftentimes, like future traders will refer to this as the DOM, like the depth of market. So like right now, it's the last fill was 5606, right? And this is where the bids are. This is where the ask is. And then, as it fills, the price will bounce around here. And then this is the volume that traded at that level. So like at 56 today, there's been 382,000 shares that traded there. So similar to an options chain. Kind of. I mean, from a standpoint of like if I go into an options chain and then click on like volume and open interest, it's like it'll tell me, the 840 strike on Tesla, the volume today was 392, that kind of thing. And then if I have like last on here, it'll tell me the last price that it traded at. So, but these are where your active bid and ask is, and then this is the fill. So like right now in something like AMD most of the time has a 1 penny spread. So you'll see the bids here, the ask here, and then it'll fill like right in between, and you can see large. When something's moving really fast, like you might only see one or two, or like let's say what's something that's kind of spready. So like Shopify, like I can't even see I have to go all the way up here. So here's the ask, and then the bids all the way down here because the bid ask spread is so wide. So that's kind of another reason why I have the level 2 up so that I can see the bid and the ask. And then these are just at those different prices. That's how much volume is filled there. So like sometimes people have the volume profile charts where the volume comes out sideways. Like I think Thinkorswim calls them monkey bars, or like TPO charts, those kinds of things. This is a little bit similar, like the volume sideways at that particular price. So like an AMD. So you can kind of see the volume profile. So like VWAP shows 5566. So 5566 hasn't had the most volume to where it's traded today. That's what the VWAP shows as the average, because there was a lot down here and then a lot up here. That kind of. Thanks, Dustin. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your day. So SPY closed there. Disney, this would be triggering us in. Oh, another immediate wick. And no close above VWAP. Every time this thing gets through here, it just keeps getting hammered. I think I'm just going to have to continue to wait on this one. Beyond Meat. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, nice move on Beyond. My VWAP's different, depending on if I have extended hours or not. And then it also depends if you're using like offsets. But yeah, look at that consolidation on this. Almost looks like there's some type of news, but yeah, consolidation. Look at that tiny candle. The range on that candle is 47 cents. On the 3-minute chart, I mean, poof, gorgeous. And then just, I don't even know if you would have gotten filled on the breakout, to be honest. And just depending on how much um slippage you gave your entry, or if you did a stop market. But I personally don't do stop markets on Beyond Meat. I like to keep them tight. Stop limit. Tesla. Let's go back. A couple of people looking at this one. Yeah, so this one, I mean, it might be done for the day. It would need to bounce off this 20 again, like it did down here. You have another bit of volume into this higher high. So people are they're taking profits into these higher highs, which I mean makes sense. And without extended hours, the 20s right there. But that really like aggressive trend line is a little bit broken, but you want to see it recover somewhere in here. When you have a chance, can you comment on the numbers in the green column versus the ask column on the depth of market? Oh, here, these. So that's like how many lots. So just like the level twos, like these are lot sizes. So a lot with shares is like a singular lot, not a lot. A singular lot of shares is 100 shares. So like right now, like if I go to AMD, because this is an easy one, has lots of volume, there's 40, 53, 42, 7, there's let's say 50 lots. That's what 50 times 100 is 5,000. 5,000 to buy. Right now, 700 to sell, that kind of thing. Those are how many lots are sitting on the bid and ask. Higher numbers on the ask mean a bullish run or a bearish run. I don't necessarily look at them as bullish and bearish personally. I just look at, hey, there's a lot of volume there. Because for every buyer, there's a seller. So I will look at like what does it do after like all that volume trades, and level twos and even these right here, like these can all be faked and manipulated. So until the volume is actually on the chart or in the time and sales, like this, it can be manipulated. Like I could float an order for 50,000 shares, and then as it approaches that number, I can just pull the order like right out from in front of it. Or they can be icebergs too. Like, I mean, you can even do icebergs on like if you use interactive brokers and I got to input a trade, I can go to advanced and I can do hidden, or I can do iceberg orders to where like it shows like it's 100, but it's actually like 1,000 shares. So someone could have an iceberg where it's like, oh yeah, there's only 100 shares there, but then it just keeps replenishing and it's like 50,000 shares. So I just like to look at where there's potentially going to be volume, and then I can zoom in and see like, does it actually print on the chart? Yeah, it's a little bit of a misnomer when someone says, oh, there's more buyers than sellers. Is not necessarily true. Like what Art's saying, it's that there's buyers that are willing, there's more buyers that are willing to pay. When something's moving bullish, there are more buyers that are willing to pay higher prices. And so the price has to move up in order to find sellers that are willing to sell at said price. Whereas when something's moving down, there are more sellers that are willing to sell at that price, and the market maker has to move the stock price lower to match it with buyers. Or like if no one's willing to buy, that's why something can really move down on like low volume. No one's willing to buy the thing. What do I think of Twitter? Swing trade, long term, or like day trade? Day trade. I was watching Twitter this morning. I really wanted to see it push and hold above 30. It just did not do that at all. I could have seen someone going long right in here. It's against my plan just because VWAP is right here. I don't get a 1-to-1. Right in this area. Like if you wanted to buy a retest of VWAP with a stop all the way down here somewhere, I could see that. Because it has had 15, 30, 40, like an hour's worth of buying. So you'd expect some type of retest and then potentially have it go higher. But it didn't really do what I wanted it to do today. Like, I feel like this gap, it should have opened and held like this high wave candle, and then just the bears just obliterated the bulls on the open right here. Do I use the 1020 and VWAP as prime indicators? Yes. Yes. Very good observation. You can tell that I talk about those the most. So price, volume, which are both price and volume are the only true indicators, right? Because every other indicator is based off of price and volume. Every single one of them. So, and time, I guess you could say, like most of them incorporate time. There are some that don't incorporate time, but price and volume are the only true indicators. And so, like price and volume, it equals the VWAP. So, like that's why I like the VWAP. Like all the moving averages are like they're fake, like on the screen. Like they work because other people use them. That's why they all work some of the time. Like if I go in and say I want to use let's say I change this to the uh 57 EMA or something like that. Well, if I buy it off the 57 EMA and someone else buys it off the 57 EMA, then like that makes the 57 EMA work. So there are ones that are more common than others. Like the 8, the 10, like the 20 is a very common one. Once you get around like the lower, like the 8, 9, and 10 are pretty common. And then the 105, yeah, is just like the best one. Kidding. Do I use VWAP for a target or did you use it as an entry as well? Both. So like if I'm doing a reversion to the mean trade, then I'll often use it as a target. So like let's say like I would have wanted if I was gonna short SPY up here somewhere. Like if I wanted to short SPY because I felt like it was really extended, like VWAP. I didn't do this trade obviously, and it didn't hit VWAP until like right at the close. But like VWAP would have been a target. So like if I shorted SPY, I would have tried to short it to the VWAP. Or like if I'm gonna fade, take a look. If there's any that I can find. Like if I would have played like this afternoon fade, like down in here as this consolidated, like an entry somewhere in here, and then like, and again, it didn't quite get there, but VWAP would have been a target. Like those are reversion to mean trades where I'll use VWAP as a target. Where do I get the pivots? It's the pivots high low. So you just go into go search for pivots, and you can do like these are the ones that I have: the pivot, high, low. And this is something that like I learned a lot from Blake because Blake traded, on a actual like prop desk for a prop firm, especially early in the morning. A lot of people like big institutions, or let's say someone farms out a big order to an HFT or something like that. Like if I want to buy like millions of shares of something, I'm not just going to go in and be like, hey, buy me a million shares of Disney like at XYZ price. So I could farm that order out to a high frequency trader, and the high frequency trader might be like, hey, every time it hits VWAP, buy 10,000 shares. So rather than like buying a million up here or down here, it's like it hits VWAP, it buys 10,000, hits VWAP, it buys 10,000, hits VWAP, buys 10,000. And people peg orders to the volume weighted average price. And there's also certain desks um, that pay like bonuses based on how closely someone bought to the volume weighted average price, because they got a quote unquote good deal on the stock. And I feel like because of what I talked about earlier, I feel like it's one of the most raw indicators, because the only thing it takes into account is price and volume, like directly, like the blend of those, and that's like the only real thing. And that's why like when the market is really just getting crushed, some let's say over here, let me hide VWAP again. So the market is getting crushed, and like, remember back here when everyone's like, oh, but the 200, like the SPY has to stop on the 200. That's just a fake line on a chart. Like, there's nothing like really there in reality. Like, there's no tangible thing to like hold up the price of the SPY. That's just a line on a chart. Maybe there's orders there, maybe not. But until they actually show, hey, this is a support level via price action, it's just a line on the chart. As technical analysis and traders, like we use them for different things, but we also have to realize that it's just a line on the chart. It's not, nothing has to happen there. Like they work some of the time, but nothing has to happen. Just kind of like this fib, right? Like if we start getting closes above it, it just invalidates, this Fibonacci area that, hey, we're going to retrace to the 618 and then have a potential bearish move. No, I don't think so. I mean, moving average, I use moving averages. I'm saying like they only work sometimes, and they all work only sometimes. We're trading imaginary lines. Yeah, I mean, you have to use something, right? So, my primary time frame that I look at intraday is the 5 minute. Yeah. So, like on the open, I usually will wait for a 3 minute close. You guys saw me today flash back and forth between the 1 minute a little bit, but especially early in the morning, I've been using just the 3 minute to like get filled on, because think or swim. I mean, I was taking videos like with my phone of the chart, and I know I sent a couple of them to Jeremy, and he was like, oh my gosh, it's just horrible. Like, what is going on? The fills were just terrible. And so I used the 3 minute until about like 8:15, 8:20, and then I'll start to flip to the 5 minutes. And the 5 minute is my primary like go to. If I'm going to look at something intraday, you guys can tell I go to the 5 minute right away. And then as we start to get later, so like right around 9:45 to 10, like I'll start to flip over to the 15. And I talked a little bit about like time frame alignment. Like if I can see some time frame alignment on like the ones, the threes, the fives, the 15, 30, something like that, then that's also going to be something that like it just helps me say, hey, there's even more like reasons for me to take this trade. Right. So like on the 5 minute or like 1 minute, I could say like, oh, well, this broke back above VWAP. All these people are trapped now. If I go to the 5, yeah, it broke a 5, but it didn't hold. It broke a 15, but it didn't really hold. Plus, it didn't break like a bearish 15-minute candle. So like, let's say we go and we consolidate within this candle. This might even give me an opportunity to tighten up my risk reward. Let's say if it starts to hold, and I can make a case to say, hey, there's bullish edge to the price action. We're making higher lows now. And this, if we break through here, this would be a higher high. We have a nice little pennant. And if we start breaking above this 15-minute candle and getting closes, and that's going to be really good. It would be a break above a 30-minute. I like it on the daily as far as, it's a morning star. It's holding the 50. Like those are all things that I can just build into the case of like, yeah, this does make sense. Thanks, Art. Appreciate that. How you doing on Wells? Hanging out down here. Tesla, it's trying to bounce. I don't think there's any reason why my trailing stop would not be below this candle. 836.02, so I'd probably be at like 835.92 or something. And let's see. No real volume there, but this is why Jeremy took a partial through, I think he said 134.38 or 48, something like
38,
that.
yeah.
38, yeah. So that's why he took a partial there, is you're pushing through, these areas where people shorted it before and or took profits. So, or like really noob traders. I mean, that was me back in the day. Like, oh, well, it's making new highs. Like it has to keep going. Well,
That's where you get in, break it out.
Yeah, that's an area to take gains. So,
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess I theoretically could have exited everything there, but I was just trying, just in case we get some type of afternoon move.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Qs looks a bit stronger than the S&P. I think the S&P, like if I go look at the sectors, some materials, which has been just a dog, not been doing well. Consumer staples, healthcare, real estate, financial, and industrial, and now energy is red. These are all dragging the SPY down, whereas, the Qs is more centered on tech. So that's why SPY is going to be a little bit weaker. And IWM, yeah, just doesn't really look all that bullish. And so this is why I waited, on Disney. Like I don't want to be the first one getting in through the volume weighted average price. Like even if it's breaking this is an awesome high wave candle. It looks like a potential flag or rest after battle, but you get this poke through and then immediate failure. Like I want to see closes above it. Oh man, VTIQ has been making me gains lately. Sketchy, but worth it. As long as you know your risk. As long as you know your risk. This thing is literally going straight up. It's kind of like, has anyone ever been to Six Flags, like the Superman ride, where like they shoot you on that thing? I don't even know if this rides around anymore, but they shoot you on that thing and it starts to go straight up, and then at the very top, like you get a couple seconds of weightlessness, and then it just plunges down. Like that's what this reminds me of, the Superman ride. Just keep adding until the downfall. Yeah, be careful on that though, because if the bids start to fall on these things, they can fall pretty quick. and have your trailing stops in. Let's see. Puts are probably like massively expensive. So even if they work, and they're probably not gonna be that great. That's actually not as bad as I would have thought. It's got a 30-cent spread, so it's not great. The options chains are in $2.50 increments, not dollars, like I would like to see. What about volume and open interest? It's not like terrific, but it's not horrible. So yeah, I mean, you could buy puts on something. It can keep squeezing. So like if I'm gonna try and do that, I would definitely look for some type of signal, like a blow off top. So like this right here, this big upper wick with increased volume, like an entry here, and then here's a perfect example of VWAP would have been your target. Like this, in my mind, is a high probability trade. That, it's not going to completely run. So you have a target here, and then as soon as it starts to bounce, you just exit. You're trading counter trend. Disney closed above your VWAP. What's your VWAP, Edgar? It might just be some of the platforms for whatever reason. Like right now, 108.30, 108.25. With extended, nope, still 108.30. $108.31. So, yeah. Sometimes they are off by like a penny or two. Last few days, I have seen some that are off by more than that. But yeah, I think like Jeremy's saying, at this point, it's probably not going to do anything great, just because it keeps failing to hold any of these levels. But I will get my 0.81R back.
Oh yeah,
on Disney.
Just gonna wait for that breakout on a swing or some type of investment play. Should be pretty easy.
Yeah, or some type of news event that it's a little more volume.
Yep. Well, team, Robert has been going strong and long for 3 hours. I learned tons, man. I love your style. I think a lot of people did. I had 7 people in the chat pane already write in that they are just they're loving learning from you, and they love seeing what you're doing and kind of how you're flowing.
Oh, sweet.
So I hope you feel good, man, because again, defense is key, and we got to be able to see how. Again, and Robert Falco, ladies and gentlemen, is a full-time trader. This is what he does. So we all know that he's going to always make more money off the mic than on the mic. On the mic, you're slower. It's just part of the game. You're always going to be slower, especially if you do a great job at explaining and kind of verbalizing what we're seeing and why we're seeing it, to make sure that each and every one of you understand why.
Yeah, off the mic, I probably would have just exited this entire thing, but I knew
exactly, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. I think you did great, man. I think it was a phenomenal trade. You're going to lose, right? It doesn't matter who it is on the microphone. Anytime you take trades, you are going to lose trades. You have to have some risk. I think you did incredible. And again, learning, you showed people how to use the crosshair tools on the Thinkorswim platform for the options trade. I know a lot of people have those questions very frequently. So good stuff, man. It was really, really wonderful. And I love it. So fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. And yeah, I'll still be around in Slack. And if you ever do want to just stop by the stream as well, you can. It's twitch.tv/Falconium TV.
Oh, Falconium. What a great name. So good.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But yeah.